This is Phillies Talk, presented by Team Toyota. I am Spencer McKercher, digital video producer here at NBC Sports Philadelphia. Once again, joined by my co-host, Sean Kane, the producer of Phillies pre- and post-game live. Sean Kane.
Spencer.
Good to have you back.
Good to be back. Yeah, I missed you the last time. It's been a little while since me and you have done a podcast together. A lot of ground to make up here.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
Thanks for everyone's patience, too, with the Phillies Talk podcast.
Yeah.
A busy last week. Last time we talked was last Sunday with me and Ricky Bo. Good to have my co-host back, though. And hope everyone had a nice, safe 4th of July.
Yes.
It was a good time. I did nothing because I'm still a little under the weather.
You're not 100%, but you're battling here.
Flu game game pod.
Yeah.
We'll keep things rolling. How was your 4th, dude? Everything good?
It was good. My actual 4th, I was here with Ricky Bo and Ashlyn Sullivan and company for Game 1 of that Royals series, doing the pre- and post-game shows. Nice win for the boys on Saturday night. But we were off on the 3rd. The Phillies didn't play on the 3rd, so got some golf in, got some family time in, a little dinner with the family afterwards. So it was a good July 3rd, and then, all good. And then the surviving the heat and the storms last night, but we made it through, and here we are.
Yeah, shout out to the old 2:45 a.m. fireworks.
Yeah, in the city. How about that?
Whew, goodness.
That's why I'm in the suburbs. I can't take stuff like that anymore.
Dude,
I'm an old man.
Not feeling well. Have not been feeling well since the last pod that we did.
Yeah.
It's been a week of just kind of back and forth battling here. And starting to fade at like 2 o'clock in the morning, watching the concert, still going on. And then all of a sudden I fall asleep.
Yeah.
And I get woken up to loud booms going across the Art Museum.
Loud booms, man. I remember, obviously fireworks are always the best, good times, great times. And then we were in South Philly, and our oldest son was like an infant. Or not an infant, but 8 months, whatever he was. And I'm getting him to bed, and all this. In South Philly, it's just like a free-for-all with the fireworks. Like everybody and their brother sets off their own fireworks, and it was just nonstop. And I just couldn't get him to sleep. And I was like, all right, I've reached the point now where fireworks aren't as cool as they used to be.
Yep,
just for that reason.
Time to go.
Yeah,
time to go.
Time to go. Time to get out of here.
I love it. Yeah, even up in Fishtown where we are, it was a lot going on.
Which is cool.
Which is great.
Everybody does
awesome.
it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at some point in your life, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I'm not feeling well, I also get that sentiment.
Sure.
So.
And 2:40 at night is late, man. Right. That's crazy.
It was wild. It was wild. But here we are, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Kind of a different little pod that we're doing since it's been 7 games since the last time we talked to you guys.
Yep.
Obviously, a 4-game series with the Pittsburgh Pirates. They split that series. A lot to get to there. And then so far in these first 2 games, well, I guess it's been 6 games, not 7, but 7 days. First 2 games with the Kansas City Royals, split them so far, and the Phillies are looking for a series win on Monday at 2:10, a little afternoon Monday game. Looking forward to that. But let's start, Sean Kane, with the news that came out on Saturday.
Yep.
And that is the Phillies' 5 All-Star selections, tied for the most in Major League Baseball, and in my opinion, all well-deserved. We'll start breaking them down. I think Bryce being the legend pick is a little you-know-what, in my opinion.
Yep.
But all 5 guys, all deserving. Brandon Marsh obviously gets his first career selection and first career start. Then obviously Schwarber, Harper, Sanchez, his second, and Duran, his first. But your takeaways on the 5 that were selected.
Yeah, all 5 deserving for sure. I thought they had 6 deserving guys. I was a little surprised Wheeler didn't make it. I know we'll get into that. But, a 2.36 ERA, and it's not like he missed a month and a half of the season. He missed like 3 or 4 starts, so I think he's pitched enough, and he's proven that he's still the elite National League, among the elite National League arms. So I was a little surprised he didn't make it. I thought they would get 6. But yeah, you can't argue the other 5 guys. And I'm with you on Harper. Like, I was surprised to see him as the Legends pick. Like, I know the fan voting at first base went like Freeman and Olsen, but I thought they would just have 3 first basemen, and he'd be a natural pick and a natural reserve, not having Commissioner Rob Manfred having to get him in there with his Legends pick. But, Harper's OPS is over 900. He's got 20 home runs, 57 RBIs. Like, these numbers are all-star worthy for sure. But anyhow, glad he's in his ninth All-Star appearance, which is pretty impressive, obviously, and interesting to see. I think he's going to kind of be like the host of the whole couple of days at Citizens Bank Park, being that he is the face of the Phillies franchise and has been for a while. So I think it'll be a nice couple of days for Bryce. I hope he does the home run derby, which we can get into later.
Yep.
So that was great. Schwarber, not a surprise, 4 for him. Sanchez, well-deserved, obviously. I hope he starts the game. I think he will. I think he should at least. So we'll see if he actually starts for the National League. And wouldn't it be cool if he starts and Johan Duran finishes? What if he closes the game? Should the National League have a lead in that 9th inning and do his entrance for the All-Star game? That would be awesome at Citizens Bank Park. And then last but certainly not least, Brandon Marsh. First-time All-Star, not a surprise either. Probably the best story, I think, of the All-Star selections is Brandon Marsh, where he was at the beginning of last season, really just kind of clinging to a roster spot back in April of 25 before he was eventually sent down in AAA. Backup, part-time player, platoon player. Now he's an everyday guy entrenched in the cleanup spot, and he's a National League All-Star. Not just an All-Star, an All-Star starter, which is just awesome. And he's such a great guy, as you know. Like, we deal with him pretty regularly. You certainly more than me, and just seems like a genuinely great guy, great teammate, and to see him kind of get that individual recognition, I think, is awesome and very, very well deserved.
We've said it so many times. I am a huge Brendan Marsh fan as a human being.
Yep.
The nicest guy that I've gotten to know on that team. Just always meets you with a smile, always asks how you're doing. And to see him buckle down here and get a deserved All-Star start and get one of the most votes in the entire outfield in the National League, which is really cool.
Awesome.
But it is, like you mentioned it. Remember when he was supposed to platoon with Otto Kemp this season?
Yeah, that was the plan. That was the plan.
And now here we are, where Brandon Marsh is starting in right field in the 2026 All-Star game here in Philadelphia. It's just a remarkable story. We've hit on it pretty much all season long. And it, I didn't want to say concludes, but his first half concludes with a well-deserved All-Star start.
Yep.
And you mentioned it. Just super happy for him. Well-deserved for Brandon Marsh.
Just imagine if you would have sat down with him instead of Otto Kemp back in January. You know, Marsh could be God knows where, and maybe Otto Kemp's getting ready for the All-Star game.
Can you imagine?
So really, it was just Marsh's good fortune to avoid any interview with you in a sit-down setting prior to the season.
Yeah, we tried to in spring training. We tried to get Marshy on board.
We talked to him like in the clubhouse a couple times, but
for sure. And he's always so welcoming.
He is.
He did the Sportsnet Central Open.
That's
for us
right.
Down there.
He did do
really
it down
nice.
there. Yeah,
really
he just
nice
sat down with John Clark like a week ago. He sat down with Amy Fadul about a month ago. So he is always very super media friendly and available. And that's even when things aren't going well, not just when he's having an All-Star season. So good for him.
100%. Really cool for him. And well-deserved, like I said, because his season right now, I mean, he's 1 for 13 over his last few games. That's whatever. But every time he's gotten into this little slump, he comes right back and does what he's been doing all season long, which is hit the ball well. So
over 300, and the power too. He's got 15 dingers.
Which
like
is
he's
insane.
gonna approach 30 home runs hopefully.
Can
So
you imagine?
Yeah,
I would have never thought that sentence would come out of my mouth of Brandon Marsh. Approaching 30 home runs, but halfway through the season, game 90 today on Sunday, and a little more than halfway, and here we are, Brandon Marsh over 15 home runs.
Yes, sir.
Heading into the All-Star game with a few more games to go. Now to Bryce. So the legend pick for Rob Manfred. Rob Manfred gave Bryce Harper the call. And it's the legend pick that allows the commissioner to add iconic, historically significant players to the All-Star game.
Right.
Last year, I remember it was Clayton Kershaw. Didn't pitch at all, and it was like, okay, it's your retirement season. Here's like a little gift. And I think you and I kind of like joked about it. We're like, oh, I don't know about all that. And now here we are, where our guy is the legends pick. And in my opinion, it's the right call for it to happen. And I'm very happy that he is an All-Star. But I think it's just disrespectful for a guy that has a 900 OPS and is now approaching an MVP-type season like we kind of predicted how this was going to go in 2026.
Yeah, like back in April and May when his numbers were just so-so and we actually started talking about this, I think I actually raised the possibility of this happening just because Major League Baseball wants Bryce Harper involved in these All-Star festivities. They want him there for the Derby. They want him there for the game. They want him kind of being the de facto host of the whole couple of days here.
He's on all the banners right now in Center City and everything.
Right, but after the June he had, I mean, I think it's no question he should have been not just getting in thanks to this commissioner's pick, this legends pick. I think he is 100% worthy of. It probably could have started the game at first base, but it's certainly being a reserve just like everybody else. So yeah, I was surprised to see that he was the legends pick. But I guess Bryce had mentioned that Manfred called him ahead of time, saying this is what we're going to do. Maybe that gave him the flexibility to get somebody else in as a reserve. Who knows? But yeah, and Bryce said it himself. He talked to Jim Salisbury and some other writers. Out in Kansas City, and said, I think my numbers, I belong. I've had a good enough season to be there, so I'm happy I'm there. And kind of indirectly, I think he's probably not thrilled that he had to be a legends pick, but it is what it is. He's in, and now I just hope he decides to do the home run derby, and I think he will. But he's got to kind of get himself there mentally, it sounds like, before he certainly commits to doing it.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
he mentioned that it's harder when you don't have somebody to throw to. His dad is not available like he was back in 2018
his last
against
year with
Schwarber.
the Nationals.
Yeah.
Yep.
against Schwarber there in that home run derby in Washington, D.C. Obviously, very memorable home run derby. He throws the bat in the air. He goes nuts.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you think we will see him? It sounds like Kyle Schwarber is about a 95% lock. He said that he'll probably be in depending on how his back feels. Obviously, that back tightness that happened about 2 weeks ago in D.C.
Yep.
But do you think, Bryce, I mean, I can go out and pitch for him.
Yeah.
Have Ricky go out and pitch for him. It doesn't matter. Somebody get out there and throw for him because I want him in this All-Star home run derby going against Kyle Schwarber too.
Yeah, I think he will. I think there's legitimate reasons on both sides to do it, to not to do it. But I think the overriding factor for Bryce, being the showman, putting on a show for the fans, this is an opportunity he's not going to get again here in Philadelphia with the home crowd watching at this marquee event. Everybody comes out to see the home run derby. It's super popular. He's going to do it because I think the overriding factor is he wants to put on a show for the fans. He wants to do right by the fans, and he's referenced that. I know the fans want me to do it. I got to see how much, in his words, oomph I have to do it when the time comes, and he's mentioned several times now, both on camera during the Pittsburgh series and then out in Kansas City with Jim Salisbury, that whoever throws to him, that's important to him. Like his dad, as you said, doesn't throw anymore. His dad's not going to throw to him again, so he's got to find the right guy. And he said, I've had people reach out to me, I can throw to you. And they think just because they've thrown me batting practice once or twice, then you get out and the fans are there and 45,000 screaming people are there and it's the home run derby. You're on the mound. It's not like you're down in a cage underneath just throwing to Bryce. Like you're out there. And I said this to you joking around. Like I throw a lot of batting practice to Little Leaguers.
Come on now.
It's tough, man. Yeah. It's tough to groove them. And especially on that stage, like if you're not a batting practice guy, like anybody thinks I can get out there and just throw strikes and let Bryce Harper hit bombs off me. But no, you got to throw it where he wants it.
Yep. Consistently.
Consistently. And it's tiring. Like you're out there throwing, man. You're throwing. Obviously there's a lot of pressure on you. So as Bryce said, like people think they can do it until they get out there. So it's got to be somebody he's super comfortable with. Obviously we know you're over there more than I am, but like Dusty Watson throws a lot of BP. Larry Boa back in the day. Boa to me would be great. Like I don't know. Like Larry is the most in shape, fit, energetic 80-year-old man I've ever seen.
Ever.
So I think he'd be fine on that stage. Obviously Larry Boa's played on a lot of big stages. So I don't know. I don't know how comfortable Bryce would be with Larry. I know Kevin Long and Bryce are tight. Kevin used to throw batting practice, as a left-handed thrower. So I don't know. I don't know if Bryce has somebody in mind from the Phillies organization or if he's going to bring somebody out from the outside, but I think he's going to do it, and hopefully he'll be comfortable, and whoever throws to him will be comfortable because that's a big ask.
I hope so. Maybe just get the machine out there.
Yeah,
he hits off the machine
Cap's
a lot.
Curveball machine.
Exactly. Get the curveball machine. Ask Cap.
Yeah.
See if it's still available.
Man, but I hope so, and I think he will.
I think he will. He's the showman.
Exactly.
Like you said.
Yeah.
He's the showman.
Him and Schwarber out there, among others, that'll be awesome.
This is his time, man. And just imagining him and Kyle kind of trading blows to the second deck and right field out there. And, oh, man, it'd be awesome. Because it is swings now this year, too. So that's a whole different thing. It's not timed anymore.
Yes.
They're going based on swings again.
Right. Which, if you don't have a guy throwing you strikes, you're just sitting there taking pitches.
Exactly.
It looks awful.
Exactly.
So, it's bad.
I didn't like the time. Yeah. I missed the swings and the outs.
Yeah.
But I do get why they did it because of guys just sitting up there. They want constant action.
Right.
Yeah. But you saw those guys take their hydration break and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, but just going back to him being disrespected, in my opinion, that's my opinion. I think you might agree.
Yeah,
that he's
with
the
Commissioner's
legends
pick stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Because you look at Freddie Freeman and Matt Olson this season. So Bryce with a 274 average.
Yep.
Freddie is having arguably the best season of his career at age whatever, 36, 35 now. He's batting 297. Olson's batting 272. Harper has 20 home runs compared to 15 from Freeman, 22 from Olson. But RBIs, Bryce has 57, Olson has 54, Freeman has 49, and OPS, Bryce is the only one above 900. Currently, as we sit here on July 5th, 903 OPS compared to 894 for Freeman and 876 for Olson.
Yeah.
And I think he's well earned a spot defensively, too, as a first baseman. I think it's just BS that he's not even starting.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, it's a tough position. Like, both those guys, those numbers are good, too.
100%.
But, like, I think Bryce's numbers are marginally better. Again, the fan vote, he was always behind those two guys. It turned out that way. But I don't think there's a rule that they just can't have 3 first basemen. Like, one guy starts and 2 reserves. You can just add a reserve, like a normal guy there.
Correct.
And then have somebody else be your Legends pick or whoever you want to have on there. But yeah, there is a lot that goes into it. Everybody has to be represented. Certain guys can't play. Certain guys can't pitch and all that. So I think that's kind of Zach Wheeler, I believe, is lined up to pitch Tuesday, and then he'll pitch again Sunday. So that'll kind of take him out of consideration from pitching in it. So is that one of the reasons he didn't make it, because they knew if he made it, he was going to have to be replaced anyway? I don't know, but I thought Wheeler deserved at least the courtesy of a fourth All-Star nod, because I think it does matter. Like, 100%. I remember Kyle Schwarber talked about this last year when Sanchez got snubbed. It was like at these reunions.
Freaking Andrew Abbott.
Yeah, at these reunions, at these things when you're retired and done with, they say, here he is, an 8-time All-Star, a 5-time All-Star. And I think guys care about that. Like, I know Wheeler wasn't going to pitch in the game, but Zach Wheeler, to me, is deserving of more than certainly a 3-time All-Star. He should be a 4-, 5-, 6-time All-Star.
And a Cy Young winner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and a Cy Young winner, and hopefully a World Series winner, because he's got a lot that he wants to add to his resume still. So that stuff matters to these guys, and I thought Wheeler certainly deserved the courtesy of at least getting the nod and then being replaced because he couldn't pitch.
100%. Logan Webb gets a nod in the All-Star game with a 3.66 ERA and a 1.6 WAR, compared to Zach Wheeler's 2.36 ERA and 3.8 WAR this season. I mean, it is, in my opinion, the biggest snub out of everybody. I know you can argue there's a few other names in there that didn't make it, but it's a shame that Zach Wheeler didn't get the start, because I would have loved Sanchi, Wheeler, and then you go to Skeens and Mizorowski and Yamamoto and everybody else.
You
and
mentioned
then
Skeens. Like, Wheeler should have been in ahead of Skeens.
Correct.
Yeah, Skeens' numbers are not. I mean, I get he's Paul Skeens, but Wheeler, I thought, was clearly better than him in terms of the first half of the season.
100%.
Yeah.
I think it's a little BS. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, Paul has struggled a lot recently. And, I don't know, man. It just rubs me the wrong way, too. The whole thing. Like, I'm happy for the 5 guys selected. I'm happy that Bryce did eventually get in. But I think it's disrespectful to call it the Legends pick. Yeah. And Zach not getting in is also rubbing me the wrong way. But what can you do?
No, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I mean, yes, completely agree. But yes, getting 5 guys in, I think they're going to be well represented. I mean, if you would, back in like late April, we're sitting here, oh my God, who's going to make the All-Star team? Like, they're going to be
is
in
it
last
just going to be Marsh?
This is going to be brutal. It's going to be awful. But now they're closing in on first place, certainly in that top wild card spot. So lots of good vibes for that All-Star game, and the fact that they have 5 guys representing them who are all should be on the field playing. And again, I think Sanchez should start. Like, that's, I know Mizorowski, I think, is on the same schedule as Wheeler, where he's going to pitch Sunday too, so that might take him out of the running. Yeah. So I think Sanchez starts in front of his home crowd, and that'll be awesome. Awesome honor for him.
I think I threatened Dave Roberts a few pods ago.
Nice.
So I think hopefully Dave is listening to that. Roberts, that is, and we can get Christopher Sanchez to come out and start the game at the top of the first inning for the National League team.
That'd be great.
That'd be really
awesome.
Cool. Well deserved for Sanchi as well. And to finish up, Duran, obviously. Yep. I mean, it was a fair bet that he was going to make it because of the season that he's having. Yeah. But can you imagine National League team up 3-1, going top 9, and they do the light show coming out?
Which I hope it happens.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
I hope they put out the light show if he has a chance to come in the game and they kind of save him for that 9th inning if the National League team is up. Yep. Man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. And you could tell how excited he was on Saturday night. We had the video that the Phillies tweeted out, Mattingly making the announcement before Saturday's game. And it's so funny, like, to see Harper and Schwarber are like, okay, great. They're like getting dressed. Hey, great.
Bryce looks disheveled.
Yeah, and like Schwarber's like, cool. And then, Duran's big smile on his face. Marsh was playing it cool, but he was excited too.
100%.
Sanchez. But yeah, Duran, you could see it on his face. He talked after the game Saturday. He didn't pitch on Saturday, but he still spoke. And he just talked about what a dream come true it was for him. And, it is, when you look at his numbers, you're like, this guy hasn't been an All-Star before, but he said it himself. He's had some better second halves of seasons than first half, whereas this year he had a great first half, and he's excited. So, yeah, it's, these guys that you think they're big-time athletes, professional athletes, but it means a lot to them, and you can tell how excited they are to be an All-Star.
I think even pitching for the Twins, especially the last few years where they haven't been the best team in baseball, obviously. Yep. Not saying the Phillies are, but it was the Twins. I don't think getting that exposure as much didn't help him get a previous All-Star nod, but I mean, I'm happy he got his first year in Philadelphia and his first full season as a Philly, and it's been a special one for Duran this season as well. So very happy for him. As we wrap up that, just some quick news and notes too. Brandon Marsh, I meant to mention this, is the first Phillies outfielder to start the All-Star game since Sean Kane?
I believe it was that Raul Ibanez, 2009?
And Shane Victorino in 2009.
They had 2 starters in 2009.
Ibanez and Shane Victorino.
That was Ibanez's first year with the Phillies. It was a great signing, and started in the All-Star game. But yeah, back then I forgot Victorino was in the All-Star a couple times. They had that run there. They had about 5 or 6 a year. It felt like, and obviously the pitching staff they were well represented too.
I remember those days as an Orioles fan back when I was a child. And then
back when you were a child.
A
right.
child.
Yes.
And
2010.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
And you'd look, and it was always stacked with these Phillies guys.
Uh-huh.
You know, I was just still
Yeah.
middle school, hanging out in 2010.
Yeah.
I was 14. I guess I started high school.
Yep. Well, when I was that age, it was the last time they had the All-Star game here in 1996.
That's
the
right,
Phillies
baby.
were certainly not running away with the division or really even in contention, and they only had one All-Star that year. Our friend Ricky Paul.
Ricky Paul
Vitalico, the only All-Star back in 96. So they're a little more well-represented 30 years later, thank goodness.
Yeah, I look for Ricky around this All-Star festivities.
Mm-hmm.
Won't be doing as much as we thought he would,
Yeah.
but he'll still be around celebrating
Yes.
30 years since the last one, because Sean Kane, that's when I was born, 30 years ago.
30 years ago, 96.
I was
Yeah, you remember watching
5
that
months
game.
old.
I went to the home run derby as a 15-year-old. That
go,
makes
baby.
sense. So I guess I got 15 years on you.
Yeah, always, there's
Yep.
the math, baby.
Yeah, it
There's
all
the
adds
math.
up.
Last thing on
Yep.
just the selections, too. I thought it was interesting. MLB did release the player votes
Okay.
compared to the fan votes.
Yep.
Just some interesting ones. Kyle Schwarber got 18 more votes above Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Voted on by the players.
Yep.
554 to 536.
Interesting.
I thought that was
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
definitely.
Matt Olson got more first base votes than Freddie Freeman by a lot.
Okay.
421 to 296. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I just thought that Kyle getting more votes voted on by the players, which I still think that should have ties
Yeah.
into this.
Didn't Kyle win an award last year that was like the Players' Choice
Yes.
Awards, and he beat out Ohtani for,
He
I guess,
did.
the D8, whatever it was. I don't know what.
I-
Maybe it was MVP.
I think it was MVP. It was
Yeah,
like most.
okay.
It wasn't most valuable player, but it was something a
Outstanding
lot. Yeah,
player.
exactly.
Yeah. So clearly Kyle is popular with the players, because I was never going to take anything away from Ohtani. But
No, of course
Schwarber,
not.
I think, being Schwarber and being so well respected around the league, it's not as only a player, but as a leader, it's not surprising to me to see he gets that much support from the players.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. So happy for our 5 All-Stars. Like
Yes.
you mentioned, there should be a 6th
Yep.
with Zach Wheeler. But nonetheless, maybe see if he gets in. We saw last year all the changes with pitchers and players and all that stuff on injuries and schedules and all that. So
Yeah.
we shall see, but really happy for our 5 guys being represented here in Philadelphia.
And Ranger coming back, too.
That's a good point. I forgot
Mike
about
Trout,
Ranger.
hopefully health permitting, he might be able to play.
Trout out there.
A couple familiar faces coming from outside the organization.
That American League, when they're introducing that team, the strongest ovation
For Trout.
for
or
Ranger.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think they'll both get big hands.
100%.
for sure. Yeah.
100%. That's
Yeah.
going to be cool.
It'll be interesting to see who's received well here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, they're going to announce the National League team and go to Ohtani, and there's just going to be boos.
Yeah, I hope not. But yeah,
Schemes.
I guess. Yeah, exactly. Remember when Chase got introduced, Utley, I don't know if you remember this, back in New York in 2008, I guess it was.
Yeah.
And he came out to a little round of boos, and he had his own thoughts. The cameras picked up loud and clear, and that was always fun with Chase. Yeah.
That's good stuff, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the ovation that some of these guys are going to get. But I think Ranger is going to get a huge one once he's introduced for the American League team. All right, quick ad break. On the other side, we'll recap some of these games from this past week, some positives, some negatives from both of us, and then we'll preview the rest, or I guess this final game of this Royal Series on Monday. This summer, Team Toyota is stepping up to the plate with the All-Star Sales Event. Score great lease offers on new Toyota models like the RAV4, Camry, Corolla, Tacoma, Tundra, and much more. Are you looking for value? Well, we have a huge selection of Toyota certified used vehicles backed by the confidence and quality that you expect. And before you hit the road this summer, visit our award-winning service centers to get everything you need before those long summer road trips. Get your home team advantage in Princeton, Langhorne, or Glen Mills, or shop online at teamtoyota.net. Well, Sean Kane, the moment we've been waiting for almost 6 years now. The Philadelphia Phillies are hosting the 2026 MLB All-Star Game, and right here on NBC Sports Philadelphia, we have Calling All Stars.
Yes, very exciting. First time the Midsummer Classic comes to Philly in 30 years, so of course we got some big plans, Spence. We're going to have shows on Monday and Tuesday. Calling All Stars, hour-long programs, kind of like a pregame show, a de facto pregame show on Monday for the Home Run Derby, and then again on Tuesday for the game itself. Michael Barkan, Ricky Bottalico, Ruben Amaro Jr., Ben Davis, all the people you come to expect, Jim Salisbury, Cole Weintraub, even Tom McCarthy might be in the mix. We're going to have presence at the ballpark. We're going to be over at Stateside Live. Of course, we'll be here in studio as well. So it's going to be exciting and so much to look forward to. Hopefully we get some strong Phillies representation in the home run derby. And then, of course, we know we'll have some representation in the game itself. So we'll cover all the angles, all the festivities, all the excitement. It's a historic event, and we're excited to cover it Monday and Tuesday.
I can't wait. The #1 pregame show before the All-Star festivities on Monday and Tuesday. Check it right here, Calling All-Stars on NBC Sports Philadelphia. Welcome back to Phillies Talk, presented by Team Toyota. Spencer McKercher right here. Sean Kane over there. Sean Kane, Calling All-Stars.
Yes.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, excited for those shows. As you just heard, we have our pregame show for the Derby and pregame show on Tuesday for the All-Star game. So looking forward to that cast of characters. It's going to be fun.
Can't wait. Looking forward to that one. So, anywho, the Phillies now, like I mentioned at the top of the show, took 2 of 4, split the series with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and then have taken 1 of 2 out of this 3-game series with the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah.
Just some of your positives, Sean Kane. We'll start positive, then we'll go to our negatives, but some of your positives from the last 6 games.
Sure. Yeah, I'll work backwards. I thought Aaron Nola was really good on Sunday afternoon. Don't need to get into how much he struggled these last couple of years. We all know it. But he went out and he went 7 strong against the Royals. And I'm not going to call the Royals the 27 Yankees. I get it. Their offense is not great. But for him to go 7 innings really against anybody now is a huge, huge step in the right direction. He hadn't gone 7 innings since like April of 25. So season high in innings pitched for Aaron. Curveball looked good. The stuff was good. He struck out the side in the 6th, 7 strikeouts. So encouraged by Aaron. We're all rooting for him, obviously. So let's see if he can string together a couple of good starts. But that stood out to me. Jesus Luzardo was really good on Saturday night in Kansas City. Early on, oh boy, this might be no-hitter stuff type of deal against that Royals lineup. But Luzardo's been good, and he's been really good on the road, as we talked about. And overall, I think his last 10 starts now, 9 of those last 10 for Luzardo, he's allowed 2 earned or fewer. So, after a rocky start, this guy has kind of been the guy we thought we were going to see all season long, and the ERA continues to shrink into those mid-3s. So, impressed by the last couple of nights starting pitching. A guy who's been playing a lot because the Phillies have been running into some right-handed pitching here is Gabriel Rincones Jr. in right field. And he had a couple of really nice games in Kansas City. On Saturday night, gets into a ball for his 2nd home run. Then he has an RBI double later in the game. And then on Sunday, makes a nice catch in the field, but also has another hit, sac fly to drive in a run. So productive at bats, making the most of his opportunities. Because honestly, for a while there, I'm like, it doesn't really look like he belongs.
He's getting old.
Yeah, and it was like, how much longer is he going to be up here?
Yeah.
But he's starting to prove a little something now, and hopefully he can kind of stay in that outfield mix as a left-handed bat against right-handed pitching. I know we're going to see some Derek Hill, obviously, once they see some lefties. But I was impressed with Rincones. Bohm had a couple of big hits on Saturday. I think there's some positives to pick out, certainly from the first couple of games in Kansas City.
Yeah. I felt so bad by the way, it's GRJ.
GRJ,
we'll
Gabriel
rock with
Rincones Jr., no doubt.
So if you guys, the listeners, want to take that one, that's been the nickname that we've given him here in the office. So good for GRJ.
Yes.
I felt so bad for him. We kept showing his parents who made the trip over, first time seeing him in the big leagues.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't a great series for him in against Pittsburgh here in Philadelphia. Felt so bad for him because you just want to show out, especially with your dad in town and your mom and your wife or fiance, wife. Don't know which one, but one of them. It stinks that you didn't perform the way you needed to, but then you go to Kansas City and everything started to heat up. You made a few nice plays defensively, like you mentioned, too. I thought that was a huge positive, too. Going back to Luzardo, over his last 5 starts, 1.79 ERA, Sean Kane, 45 strikeouts and 12 walks.
45 strikeouts in his last 5 starts. That's impressive.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive. And, after the weird April and kind of a still roller coaster season that we keep seeing from Jesus Luzardo, it's good to see him kind of get back on track here and look like that third ace on this staff as hopefully he can keep that moving forward.
Yeah.
How about negatives now? Is there someone that's kind of stuck your eye out that...
Turner had a nice stretch there at home against the Pirates.
Yes.
Early in that series, and he had that stretch, and he's still was kind of riding a hitting streak. But then the last game against the Pirates at home, that afternoon when it was about 100 degrees.
110.
Nobody really looked invested there, so I'm not going to kill him for that. But he hasn't had good at-bats in Kansas City in the first 2 games. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. Like, I'm hoping, all right, Trey's put together a nice week here. Here we go. He's going to come back, and he's going to hit 300 in the second half, and he's going to get that average up to 260 on the season, and this and that. And he just seems to be kind of reverting to some lousy at-bats. So, again, waiting on Trey here. We're 90 games into the season, as you said earlier. The average is still in the 230s, so hopefully he can find a little more consistency and not ride the wave as much and kind of get those good stretches and ride them a little bit longer and put together some better at-bats. Although in the pregame show today we talked about on Saturday night, he had a really nice base running play at third base. He had a great read on a wild pitch and scored, and it was his 60th run of the season. So he's 4th in the National League with 60 runs scored. So he is scoring some runs. Obviously he's playing every day at the top of the lineup. He's getting plenty of at-bats, but you just need to see the average get a little higher. You need to see the on-base get a little higher. So Trey, I was kind of hoping he would have a big road trip. Maybe he still will, but it hasn't started very well at all.
Yeah. It was funny because he had a multi-hit game in 6 of the 8 games.
At one point.
Yeah, I think going up till Thursday in that final game against the Pirates, and riding a nice hit streak, showed some power, hit a home run in 3 straight games in that Pittsburgh series too.
Yep.
And then you get to Kansas City. There's a big spot on Sunday for him.
Yep.
Doesn't come through. Obviously, they bring in Matt Strom, former friend.
Yes.
For the lefties and Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper.
Exactly.
And you kind of just flail on an 0-2 pitch and pop it up and go on from there. So I need Trey to get back on track.
Agreed.
I really need to kind of keep seeing what we just saw. Because if he can, that's the Trey Turner that we need to see all season long from this past week. I don't need to see the Trey Turner that we've seen in the first 2 games in Kansas City.
Agree.
Other than that, there really hasn't been a negative for me. I mean, Nola against Pittsburgh, that was
disappointing.
Really disappointing, and especially when you go back and look at his differences between the windup and the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Since in 2026, his batting average when he's in the windup is 227. When he's in the stretch, it's 252. Sean Kane.
Yeah.
The slugging percentage 378 in the windup to 422 when he's in the stretch. So. Yeah. But I'm so glad that he bounced back on Sunday. It was well deserved, and hopefully, we'll take seven innings, 3 earned runs every day of the week. And this offense kind of just went quiet on him a little bit.
For sure, yeah. And something we talked about in the postgame show, and we've talked about before on Sunday, is Nola, like you mentioned from the stretch, how his numbers are not good because runners get on base and he kind of tends to slow down. And now with the pitch clock, he can't really slow down. And the pitch clock has kind of been something he's had to get used to now for 3 years. And we've talked about this before. The ABS this year, I think, sometimes kind of robs him of those pitches he used to get maybe an inch or 2 off the plate, that little backdoor off the hip of a left-hander that kind of sneaks back in the inside corner. That was his bread and butter. He used to ring guys up on that looking. Now, we saw it twice on Sunday against the same hitter, their 9-hitter, the Royals, Collins. One in the second inning, he had him punched out for what looked like an inning-ending strikeout in the second inning. Umpire punches him out. Guy taps his helmet. Collins does. They review it. It's, a 1/10 of an inch off the plate, so it's a ball. He ends up getting a hit. Now, they don't score a run in that inning, but Aaron has to throw 10 more pitches, so he's up close to 50 pitches after 2 innings. Again, in the 5th, same thing. Collins gets punched out. They review it. It's not a strike. And then he gets a hit. And then he actually comes around scoring. So it really exemplified a couple times how getting that corner has helped him in the past. Because he's not a guy that's throwing 98 that's going to overpower you. He needs to live on the edges. And he used to all the time. And he still is. But now those technically aren't strikes. They're getting reviewed. And they change the whole course of at-bats and really the whole course of innings.
And he's dealt with the pitch clock and now the ABS system. Yeah. And I get everyone's going to say, well, you have to adjust. You have to adapt. For a guy like Aaron Nola, it's tough to do that.
Yep.
Especially when you've been throwing the same way basically since you were, 12, 13, 14 years old?
Yep.
Yeah, it stinks when that's what you're known for, pitching corners and all that stuff. And now you're dealing with the pitch clock and you're dealing with the ABS system. So
agreed.
It's tough. But like I said, maybe this is a sign in the right direction. I feel like we have said that before.
Let's hope so.
This season about Aaron Nola, but hopefully on Sunday it was a step in the right direction for Aaron Nola. All right, quick news and notes just around the league.
Yep.
Andrew Painter, Sean Kane on Saturday. A pretty encouraging start against the Rochester, the Nationals AAA team. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 6 strikeouts, only 69 pitches in 6 innings, 48 of them for strikes. I'm encouraged.
Yeah, very encouraging. Efficient, no walks, the pitch count there in 6 innings, it's under 70 pitches. Like, that's what you need from him. Again, it's AAA. Will he be the same when he gets back up here? Because I think he's coming back up. Like, I don't think this is like a season-ending thing for him. They need him back up here at some point. They want to give him another shot. They want to give him another look. If not, to like work his way back into their postseason plans for this year, just to get a little more confidence that he can be effective on the big league level for 2027 and beyond. So, yeah, it's encouraging. Hopefully he can string together some nice outings down there. Maybe we see him back up here in August at some point. So that's the hope.
That'd be really nice.
Yeah.
That'd be really nice. All right, quick look into the future.
Yes.
Sean Kane, as we wrap up the Phillies Talk podcast. Monday, Christopher Sanchez, your National League, in my opinion, your National League starter.
Yep.
Come Tuesday the 14th of July, Christopher Sanchez takes the mound against Noah Cameron. Of the Kansas City Royals, 4-6 with a 4.95 ERA. For Cameron, would love a nice series win.
Score some runs against Noah Cameron.
That would be really nice.
Give Chris Sanchez some early runs and win tomorrow 7-2 and take 2 out of 3, and you're on to Cincinnati. This is a road trip, like, I think they should go 7-2 or 6-3 on. So
I love that.
If you take 2 out of 3 here, then you obviously want to win all these series. Maybe you sweep one, get to 7-2, and I think that gets you right on the precipice of first place going into the All-Star break.
It'd be awesome, man.
3 games back as we sit here on Sunday.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just we talked about it so many times, but them having the worst record and the run differential in all of Major League Baseball on April 27th.
Yeah.
And now they're the 4th team in the National League and 5th team in Major League Baseball to reach 50 wins.
Yeah.
It's pretty astonishing to see what this team has done. Shout out to Don Mattingly and everybody else.
Yeah, man.
And speaking of Andrew Abbott, they'll see him on Tuesday.
Yes.
Sean Kane, the
All right,
scheduled
very
starter
good.
for the Cincinnati Reds as the Phils head to Cincinnati. All right.
Yeah.
You got anything else? Going to land the plane?
Going to land the plane. The one thing I didn't mention, which not to start a whole discussion on this, is I found the Wheeler-Mattingly exchange pretty interesting.
Wow,
from
yeah, we didn't even hit on
from
that.
Pirates series when Mattingly yanked him in the 5th inning to give him a chance to finish 5. His streak ended, which started like 3 years ago. It was like 53 straight regular season starts of 5 or more innings. And Wheeler comes out, wasn't happy about it. Mattingly had his thoughts, and I thought both guys had a point. I can see both guys' sides, and obviously Wheeler's competitive, and Mattingly admitted as such. That's how all the great ones are, but pretty interesting. It's a tough week for Zach. He has to deal with that. Then he gets snubbed.
Snubbed for the
He's
third
pitching
time.
pretty angry when he takes them out next. What I guess he'll pitch on Tuesday. Yeah.
I mean, he's the best pitcher over the last decade by 10 WAR.
Yeah.
10 points of WAR. Yeah. He's not going to be starting the All-Star game or not even in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
So I was off that day, and I started not really feeling well that day, so I didn't see anything, and then I went back and was like, ooh.
Yeah, he was not happy post-game. His whole scrum in the clubhouse lasted about 45 seconds, and I'm listening. Like, we don't air that stuff live in post-game. I kind of listen to it just to make sure that the audio's good, it sounds good, there's no cursing, there's no buddy walking behind Zach Wheeler with their towel off or anything like that. So I'm listening, and I'm like, ooh, he's not happy. And then Jim Salisbury's in there asking him, did you talk to Don? No. Will you? I don't know. And then the next morning, Jim hits Don Mattingly because it was the day game. That was the hot day.
Yep.
Have you talked to Zach yet? Nope, haven't talked to him yet. Going to give him a little while. I don't think he wants to hear from me anytime soon. And then Mattingly went on to explain his thinking. It's a long-term thing. Got to protect this guy. It was 104 pitches, and if you could guarantee he would throw another pitch or two to get out of that inning, I would have left him in. But all of a sudden, if he has a 10-pitch at bat, then he's at 115 in the 5th inning, and the Phillies rotation not exactly deep right now, so you don't need Zach Wheeler injuring himself. So I get it. I get where Mattingly was coming from, and I get Wheeler not being happy. He feels he's earned the right to at least get out of the 5th inning.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think when, the streak of 5+ innings?
Yeah, 53 straight starts.
53
no
straight
more.
starts. I think that's what did it.
Yeah.
I think it would have been okay if he was at 5 1/3 and, he left with 2 on, whatever.
Right.
But I think taking him out in the 4th inning,
Yeah.
not completing 5, I think that's what rubbed Zach the complete wrong way, because he has mentioned, when he starts the season, All-Star, Cy Young, World Series trophy, and obviously the stats matter.
Oh, yeah.
Those little stats of keeping the scoreless streak alive, or not the scoreless streak, but keeping the inning streak alive of 5+ for 53 straight starts, I think that's what pissed him off.
And not to mention, those are his runners on base, and then Backus comes in and hits 2 guys in a row, 1 run scores, that's charged to him. So I think he wanted the opportunity to get out of his own inning there.
Yep.
But yeah.
It is interesting. A little drama, Sean Kane. A little drama.
Drama to
we
get us
need
through.
it.
Yeah,
it's from 2 guys that didn't expect to have drama from.
No.
Zach Wheeler,
Wheeler and Mattingly, exactly. And I wonder if Mattingly there, being who Mattingly is and having his credentials and his resume, probably in Wheeler's mind is all right, this guy obviously has been around, he knows the game. And obviously I think Wheeler had tons of respect for Topper as well, but I think Zach will get over it.
100%.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to fester.
Definitely. I did want to mention this. Our buddies, Ruben Amaro Jr., actually, we'll stick with that.
Yeah.
Had the trade idea.
Okay.
Of Andrew Painter, Gage Wood, and Francisco Renteria, the 17-year-old kid who's completely dominating right now in rookie ball.
Right.
For Ranger Suarez and Aroldis Chapman.
Oh, wow. Bring Ranger back. So, I'm sorry, Painter, Wood, and Renteria. Oof, that's a lot. I mean, that would be...
Wrong.
I don't think...
I love you, Rube, but
I don't think Dombrowski would do it just because it would be such a bad look of a guy he chose not to re-sign. Now he wants to bring him back, and in the process, he's got to get rid of his 3 best prospects to do it, or at least 3 of his best 4 or 5 prospects. So, no, that'd be tough. That'd be a tough look.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Huh. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah.
I had to bring it up.
Nice. All right.
He might get mad at us, but that's okay. That's here nor there.
Never.
Last thing, Sean Kane, we land the plane.
Yep.
So I don't know if you saw, for the 250th celebration, they made a time capsule.
Oh,
and it was something from like every state, and they put it in, I don't know where they put it, like South Dakota or something like that.
Okay.
And in 250 years, they'll put it out there.
Wow.
Well, one of the artifacts from Pennsylvania was the opening day lineup card of the Phillies Rangers from this past season.
Wow. Holy cow. Interesting.
So,
yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
And 250 years from now, they're just...
Looking back, was that Eovaldi for the Rangers?
Yes.
And Sanchi?
Yeah,
okay.
So it's... Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah.
The full lineup card, which is just hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know if I could even... Who started that day for the Phillies? Obviously the obvious ones, but...
Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Bohm, Stott, Garcia, Marsh, Realmuto, and Justin Crawford.
Okay, yeah, so not much has changed other than Garcia.
And then Sanchez, Bolin, Pop.
Oh, wow, Zach Pop. Shout out Zach Pop.
I can't read the name that is whoever it was, and then Duran.
Okay. So
maybe
Bacchus. A Phillies pitcher name you can... Okay, gotcha.
Bacchus,
right.
yeah.
Gotcha.
It's the actual handwritten one.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's crossed out, but it's definitely Bacchus, then Duran.
All right.
Really funny.
Yeah.
So 250 years from now,
Phil's won that game.
And
lost the next 2 in that series.
They're going to be like, who the hell is Bryce Harper?
That's right. Who's Zach Pop?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's good stuff. Thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
All right, we're landing the plane. Thanks for listening to the Phillies Talk podcast presented by Team Toyota. For Sean Kane, I'm Spencer McKercher. We'll talk to you guys at some point this week, maybe after that Cincinnati series, if we get the time and if I feel better. We'll go from there.